Hey, beautiful women. So I got up about 5 o'clock so I could have my devotion. I got a cup of coffee, grabbed my notebook, grabbed my little Bible so I could sit down, write out some prayers, and read some scriptures. At the start of the new year, I started reading Genesis and Matthew. So every chapter in Genesis and every chapter in Matthew. The very first thing I did when I opened up is I wrote up my prayer and I talked to God very quietly again because I have 3 children and it was really early in the morning. But the reason why I recorded this part and I'm sharing it with you is because I read some things in both Genesis chapter 13 and Matthew chapter 13 that seem to be so connected. And I'm going to read you a part of what I wrote in my prayer. And I asked God for wisdom, prosperity, and discernment. And after I wrote my prayer and I started reading Genesis, I just got so engulfed in the situation between Abram and Lot. If you want to, go and read it if you haven't. But it was so amazing how both of them were very wealthy, but Abram called on the Lord. The scripture never said that Lot called on the Lord. And then in Matthew, when I was reading, I kept getting set your sights on things that are above, right? Because even though they were both wealthy, Lot didn't call on the name of the Lord. He didn't worship the Lord at all.